Somebody is. You ready? Now, let's do it again. Here we go. You ready? Let's tell those preachers what a minister is. Translators, man. Here you go. You ready? Everybody want to be included, translating everything on the planet. So let's help those little dump truckers out. And he's like, hey, can we get it on this? It's like, yeah, we got dump trucks, man. Look, you got dirt, kind of dark color. We got more dirt over here. It's kind of a light color, a tan color there. You know, a little light color there. You know, these are dirt piles. You know, like in the desert, they got dirt piles, waiting for somebody to build something out of it. You know, tourist attractions, space programs, gardens. You know, forests. And then, you know, don't make mountains out of molehills, man. See? That's what I say. These preachers, man, they didn't know. I drove all around the country, talked to all these different churches. I say, well, the Space Coast, they're going to get all this stuff before everybody else does, and that pisses everybody off. So the preachers naturally are all up in an uproar. So Mr. Kirk did what was fair, and they tried to slow him down. So he says, no, you all remember that? The deal, the Green New Deal, you know? And he says, you all American, so you all said, take this U-Haul, boy, and drive it around. So we drove it around, went to all the churches and talked to him. He says, well, they forgot the angel English language. That's the AE, angel English. Well, they speak of some angel. He's saying, the South Americans, you know, and the North Americans, two parts of the continent. He says, yes, I remember. You know, the Southeast, in case they forgot, you know, you'll have a Southwest, you know, and since the entire South needs wisdom, we said, you know, social solutions, secret service, we, wise education, better together, east to west, north to south, the full compass, you know, to encompass the entire land with wisdom and education for a better future. So let's give it to the preachers, what ministers do. You know, we translate this and that and put it all out there, and it's like nouns and verbiage. You know, the legislation and bills and Congress and stuff, they lost the nouns and verbiage, too much stuff, you know. So we have the nouns of people, places, and products or productions, you know, products and services, you see, things, you know. I would say, you know, it's a PPP protection, okay? You know, people, places, things, productions, products. So we say, you know, there's nouns and verbiage, actions, acts, you know, ACTS. I mean, yeah. Come up in this mini way. He says, you know, we got preachers, you know, and the good preachers, they're not worried about it, man. They're like, man, let the ministers and the translators speak. The Indians, space agencies, you know, all these people are really excited right now. They're hearing all this stuff, and they go, you know, this is the best thing ever, man. I can't believe it. And he says, you better believe it, you know. And he says, you ever see that CF card where they take pictures, you know, CF cards? You see if you believe it. You know, you take pictures of this and that. And you turn it around backwards and you say, FC? Yeah, you know, FC. See, for Christ, for wisdom, you know. If you see it, you can believe it. And see if you believe it. You see? And I said, you know, they needed a belief system with hope and mercy. Hope, mercy, and mercy, hope. You see? A telegram for the Indian people, Indian language and stuff. Translations and this and that and the other thing. Hey, you know, we got some Indians on those islands too. Island Indians. You know, they're like, island Indians. He says, yeah, man. You know, the Navy went over there and tried to help them out once. They weren't very polite, so they weren't saying, aye, Captain. So we were like, okay, see ya. So we believe in second chances too. So we try to help them out again, you know, island Indians. Next time you see the Navy trying to help you out, you go, aye, Captain. And they go, man, that's pretty cool. You see it. So anyways, you know, so these preachers, they start seeing these videos and they're like, man. And what they do is they put in the descriptions. You see? You know, among some elder people, they fine, but some older people, man, they worry because some people just put them in old folks home and forgot about them. And they hear words of encouragement, You know, words of encouragement, they get encouraged. They're like, oh man, encouragement. And it's like, ooh, we're going to get excited about something. I don't know what. I hear a minister say something. I don't quite understand it. And I'm going to run a church and I'm going to, hey, preacher, did you see this? Did you see this? All right, did you see this guy? He says, no, we didn't see him before we saw the video. We don't know where he is, man, but we saw a video. And I go, Mom, can you explain that? And they go, yes, we can. You know, it's like, oh, man, I sound like a president said that. You know, Obama did, man. Because he was all bummed out because, you know, it's like, what do I do with this country, man? I'm trying to fix it. And then the next president comes in and says, man, I don't know, but if we put all the presidential wisdom together, we could do something. So the preachers see it and they're like, man, well, let's put some descriptions in there, you know, like adjectives, you know, so we could describe, you know, what this guy's talking about. We'll give some adjectives. You know, we got a lot of bark, you know, with no branches and leaves, you know, when they burn down these forests and stuff. And it's, you know, and the preacher go out and he says, man, you see the texture? You know, we don't want to get our branches, you know, tied up in a bunch of knots, you know, so we got to get an olive branch here and there, you know. So if it get around to it, you know, you're going to get the mossy oaks, you know, holding in the moisture on the grounds, you know. You know, some of those mossy oaks, you know, people throw it out, you know, put it in a truck, build it up, you know. Remember, Christmas trees, you put a little moss around it. Remember the tinsel? You know, it's moss, man. You know, put some moss on the ground. You know, give it some shade, you know. And, you know, just there's some grass there, you know, and greenhouses. And then you say, well, when the moisture comes up and kind of rain in there a little bit, the moss on the ground, you know, keep it. You know, here's some seeds and fertilizer, you know. We get, you know, people throw out this moss every day because they're trying to get rid of all this moss, you know, falling out in the yard and stuff. Hey, back it up, send it over to the research, you know, whatever, you know. And then, anyways, so these preachers, you know, they start taking these words and that and these descriptions, and they say, man. And they say, well, how do I describe something? I'm so excited, and we got to put it somewhere. And they put it all in one place, you know. So you go, well, you know. Next thing you know, a minister, he goes on, he says, hey, I need to talk to the Indians again. He says, all right, hold on. It's my Indian phone. See, I don't need a phone. I just, got it, okay. So then we talk to the aliens again, and we go, you know, what do we do with that? And he says, well, you know, you get an atlas and look at the stuff they got. Try to blend it all together and then put a space little thing here and a space little thing there, alien kind of thing over here, and then, you know, then you start branching out to the desert, you know, build better helicopters with some planes and stuff to transport those people. And I go out there and I'm like, man, this is cool. And then you make little, you know, laser tag games out there they can play so get used to the heat stuff in a fun way instead of like a monotonous, boring way planting crops and stuff. And then I go, man, this is cool. You know, peaceful stuff, you know, peacetime stuff, you know. And it's like, wow. So then the preachers, they get a hold of that, right? And then like, man, we got to do Bible adventures now, man, because we got to get people moving around the country where there's actually grass and trees and stuff growing, you know, so the locals, you know, they can teach these guys about this kind of stuff before they go out there to the desert. And on the way to the desert, they're in these NASA places, you know, teaching them about Mars missions and stuff like that. Then they get out there and they're like, oh, man, they really know what to do now. And you got, you know, like Halo, you know, Halo games. You know, it's like Nintendo, you know, trying to remind you of that, you know, Japanese, Chinese people. They're like, you know, they're trying to put the video games and the movies together in a real world situation. And you got these crop things, man, these farm equipment. Got these big things coming off the front, look like little, you got paint them like halo colors with cannons and stuff, man. They're driving around, you know, fighting the invisible enemy, you know, which is the climate, man. I mean, you got dry desert sucking the moisture out of the ground, underneath the ground and everything else because of the altitude. Did you guys think about that? You got these plains higher than sea level, really dry. Other stuff here, right? And you got moisture in it. It's pulling it over and wanting to bring it down to the sea level because, you know. So you got to work on that. That's what the catacombs is for. You see the video about the catacombs? You got to watch the catacomb video. It's pretty cool. Scroll through. You'll find it. It's easy scroll. You see? Yes, scroll. You know? English, Spanish, you know? Or, you know, educational solutions. Doesn't matter what language you speak. Let's call it the, you know, solving edification of the churches, you know? You just throw a few words out there, you know? Teach those preachers how to really preach it. You know, sometimes, you know, a little bit of spirit water, you know? From the Indians, they go, hey, man, you need a little spirit? Okay, let's get you out to the countryside. Hold on. Okay. You see that lake with them ducks? No lame ducks today, you know? It's going to help the preachers out. So they look at that and they go, man, I'm really excited now. And you go, what do I get excited about? He says, you've never been excited about God, you know, before? And he says, well, we used to be excited, but we was preaching so much and we're just working so hard. And we're just like, man, I need a little bit of faith. And he says, well, you know, They said they needed faith, so Mr. Kirk prayed for everybody. He said, went down to the church, they couldn't believe it, man. They got these little prayer slips to write down. Everybody write down what you want us to pray for. People are like, hey, can I get a new car? I want a new job. Hey, can I get this new electric bike for my kid? And hey, by the way, while you're at it, I need to win the lottery. You know, and hey, while you're at it, can you give me a couple $1,000s and I want to go buy me a new car? And this and that, you know. This is Mr. Kirk said, pray for those who need it. Pray for those who need information technology, intelligence teaching. So they must have prayed for it, because it's like now, you know, nobody want to shut me up now. So it's like, okay, I'll talk now. I'll talk about all kind of stuff, you know. And it's just okay. Well, what a world did they want to shut that boy up before? I don't know. They must have been nervous. I was real nervous. I'm like, man, some of these preachers, like, they want to take my head off. So they gave me a tattoo. It says Guardian, like right below my neckline. It's like, hey, please don't take this guy's head off. You know, there's a lot of brains up there. It was like Top Gun stuff, you know. So it's like, you know, pretty cool. It's like an angel flight school. Well, what's an angel flight school? Well, you see, Angel in Florida. You know, you guys ever watch Hancock with Smith? You know, Will Smith. You know, Angel, Florida. You get it? Okay, they got it. Okay, so anyways, and I'm supposed to say something like, good job. Okay?